We've got news coming in on President Trump. Joining us now, House Majority Whip Congressman Tom Emmer. It's great to have you on. Wonderful to see you again, Congressman. Okay, Axios is reporting that President Trump will announce his vice presidential pick at the RNC convention next week in Milwaukee, and then he'll do it after Don Jr. speaks, and that is a sign it's Senator J.D. Vance, because Don Jr. is a big supporter of Vance. Would you be happy with this announcement at the RNC convention, and would you be happy with Senator Vance?
I'm going to be happy with whatever President Trump decides. You got to remember, Liz, the people are voting for Donald Trump, not for the vice president. And whoever he picks, he's got to have somebody who's going to be a great campaigner and is going to be somebody who will work, has a work ethic. And every one of the people that I've seen named has those qualities.
So you like the move to announcing it at the convention?
I think Donald Trump knows better than anybody how to work a program and build up the excitement. It's just going to be part of a great week that we have coming. Republicans are ready to unite behind Donald Trump, and it's going to be part of the show. Okay,
let's move on to this. Congressman, what are you hearing now among Democrats in Congress about President Biden? He's about to give a very rare solo press conference coming up at 6:30. The New York Times reports the Biden campaign is testing Kamala Harris versus Trump, plus NBC quoting anonymous White House aides and Biden campaign workers saying he should drop out. Can Kamala Harris win the swing states? She's been misleading America, saying Biden is fine, and as border czar, the border is fine, nothing wrong. She also wants to ban fracking, which helps economies like the swing state of Pennsylvania.
You know, Liz, with the exception of Fox, every one of the news media, the mainstream news media, has been complicit. They've seen what we've seen with Joe Biden for the last 3.5 years as he has deteriorated. And now they're just saying they're noticing it now. It's all been a cover-up from day one. The American public saw it for 90 minutes 2 weeks ago. You can't undo that. And guess what? It doesn't matter who the candidate is. I believe it's going to be Joe Biden. But it doesn't matter who it is, because the election is about the failed policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has put middle-class families, when they walk into the grocery store, they have to make very difficult choices about what they can feed their families with because the prices have shot up so high. You've got an open southern border that's resulting in crime and fentanyl overdoses in communities all across this country. And you've got fires around the world because this current president doesn't have a foreign policy that people trust or that they believe he will follow through on. So the choice is easy. Donald Trump's going to be elected in November, regardless of who's on the ticket.
What do you make of this Politico report? It looks like a circular firing squad among the Democrats. Obama warned Democrats not to do that, but now Barack Obama and Pelosi undercutting Biden. It basically says President Obama did give the green light to George Clooney running his New York Times op-ed saying Biden should drop out, that Clooney showed it to him and Obama didn't object to it. And then also Nancy Pelosi, quote, has disdain for the situation with Biden. And Pelosi also gave the green light to Democrats to tell Biden he won't win, should step aside. She's telling them to do that, though, after the NATO summit. All of them were publicly saying, vote for Biden, he's fine.
Hey, Liz, it's while Democrats are eating their own right now, they are just self-destructing internally. And by the way, this has been coming for a long time. That party is divided in so many different ways, whether it's the Marxists, the socialists, the traditional Democrats. They've got all kinds of different issues that they're dealing with. The great news for us is that Republicans are united behind Donald Trump, and we're ready to win in November.
I mean, when you see reports like NBC saying the Biden campaign is worried fundraising is going to get cut in half, ABC poll, it's still neck and neck. It's 47% Trump to 46% Biden. When you see 2/3 of voters saying he should step aside, 2/3 of Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents say that too, you see that, and then what do you make of this? The far left is still sticking with Biden. What does that tell us?
Well, I mean, he's the candidate. They understand there are challenges to trying to change this, not the least of which is this is a party that wants to talk about democracy. You got 14 million people that voted for Joe Biden in the primaries, and now you're suggesting that a very small group behind closed doors will decide someone else. I don't see that happening. I do see all kinds of problems with his campaign, and Democrats see it as well. Their problem is not Joe Biden. Their problem is Democrats are out of touch with Main Street USA. They are not listening to the people that they're working for. They're telling them the world is better than what you think it is. And Americans are about to tell them in November, you're done. We're going to elect Donald J. Trump. We're going to elect a Republican Senate and a Republican House. And we're going to go fix this country starting in January of 25.
Congressman Emmer, a pleasure having you on. Just recapping the news. It's good to see you, Congressman.